Hello, magical ones. I thought I'd just do a little broadcast from my tree house at the bottom of the garden on this beautiful August sunny afternoon in Essex in the UK. And just to tell you a little bit of news, one about the Wealthy Witch workshop this weekend. So it's on the 10th, which is this Sunday. And I'm quite excited about it, actually, but we'll always get excited about doing my workshops. But cosmically, we've got a real blend of energies coming up this weekend. We've got the full moon, which is on Saturday, full moon in Aquarius. All right. And then we've got the Lion's Gate, which is on the Friday. So Lion's Gate coming up on the 8th, full moon on the 9th. So those energies are still very much going to be with us on the 10th. All right. So that's what we're going to be working with. We're going to be working to clear and release any self-limiting beliefs around money, because that's going to be the focus. All right. We know that Wealthy Witches is working with magic in a very broad sense. So we've got health, we've got creativity, we've got relationships, we've got spirituality, but we've also got money, which is a big part of that. All right. So, and I think that in this day and age, you know, with witches being as we are, we're very spiritual beings, you know, witches. And there's a bit, I know for me, for one, have had a huge block around money for all my life, really. It's what prompted me to write Riches for Witches a couple of years ago. So, and remember, if you are a paid subscriber with this newsletter, you've got a free ebook of Riches for Witches. So I'll put the link of that again into this newsletter. So yeah, we're going to be working on releasing those old money stories. All right. No better way than to do it at the full moon. All right. Especially Aquarius, when it's all about letting go of old beliefs. All right. And bringing those new creative ideas that we can work with to create a new money story. And then we're going to embrace that energy of the Lion's Gate and work with that to really bring in the manifestation aspect of welcoming those new money stories in. All right. And of course, taking the action that's required to do that as well, because we can't just sit and hope and that we're going to manifest and money's going to fall out of the sky. It just doesn't work like that. We have to act in accordance. Whatever working we do, whatever magical spells we create, all right, we have to take the earthly action in the physical realms. Otherwise, we might as well be sitting on a cloud, all right, up there with the angels and the fairies, which would be very nice, but without our feet on the ground, we're not actually going to bring anything into our sphere, our orbit on an earthly level. All right. So yes, so that's the workshop this weekend. If you haven't already become a paid subscriber for the workshop, there will be a link to be able to do that here. So please do, if you feel, I'm biased, of course, but I know that my students, we've been doing this now for a good 18 months. And, you know, there's real value in this work. It can be profoundly powerful work on an inner level. All right. I mean, we know that once we start working on the inside, you know, with our self-worth and how we value ourselves, then that can only reflect in our outer world and what's going on. All right. And one of the ways of doing that is with our money blocks, dealing with our money stories, creating a new one, and working to manifest and create a more abundant life. And that begins with an abundant mindset. Okay. Our financial good is reflected by our money mindset. Okay. Dogs. So I've got my 2 spaniels in here at the moment who are scooting around for probably mice and all kinds of things that live in the treehouse. And what's the other thing that I was going to talk about? Oh yes, I'm also going to add another paid tier to the subscription for those that might be interested, and I'm going to add in a new moon wealthy witch reading every month. All right, so for the collective, and I've had pretty good feedback on the last reading that I did for the collective a couple of weeks ago at the new moon. And I thought, you know what, I think this is going to be really helpful to everybody, and it will encourage me to keep doing it on a regular basis, be consistent. So I'm going to offer a collective wealthy witch reading for you all, and that will be as another tier, but I've got to work that out on Substack yet. So a little bit more than £12 a month, but not much. Okay. So what else was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about one more thing. You can see in the background, I've got a lovely it's a painting of Owl from the Magic of Nature Oracle. And funnily enough, just before I came on to do this, I had a shuffle and picked my card, because I always pick a card before I do anything for the public, really. And look what I picked. Ow! And this is probably my favorite card out of the whole deck. That actually is the original painting from this card. So Tanya, my sister, painted that, as she did with all the illustrations in the Magic of Nature Oracle, our own deck. And I wanted to talk about Owl because it's such a beautiful card, and it's all about knowing. Now, we can believe, we can have faith, we can think we know, but nothing really substitutes actually the wisdom of our all-knowing sacred selves and magical selves. All right. So I think that never more at the moment has there been a time when we need to really trust in the magic of ourselves and our all-knowing intuition, which is constantly giving us signs. But whether we're aware of that, it's up to us, isn't it? All right, we can think that we are, but it's just bringing that into our awareness and working with whatever tools are at our disposal. I love my cards, I love my pendulums, I love my working with altars and magical objects of all kinds, usually natural objects. So can't beat a good old hagstone. You can't beat shells, and you can't beat a nice old crow feather. And yeah, I mean, the treehouse is full of them, but we can use, that's the wonder of witchery, is that we can tap into these amazing tools which are at our fingertips and use them to help us to bring to the surface what we need to know about any given situation at any time. All right. That said, take away all these tools, all right, because at the end of the day, they're only frills. All right. And what have we got? We've just got our inner knowing. All right. And at the end of the day, that is the most magical part of who we are. Right. It's that part of ourselves which knows what is right, what is wrong, but doesn't pass judgment in that sense. All right. But knows what is the best choice we can make for our highest good. All right. Because that's our connection with the divine. That's our connection with the gods. All right, that's our connection to the sacredness of life. So here go the dogs. Well, go out then. Go on, out you go. It's probably the postman. No, Inca, you going in or out? Right, okay. Sorry about that. I did wonder about bringing them in here, but they always want to follow me. So there you go. If you've got dogs, you know what I mean. So I hope that's made some sense to you today. And I look forward to sharing magical time and space with you on Sunday. All right. So lots of love, everybody, and take good care of yourself. And I'll see you.